Yes, the title's true. No, it's not clickbait. I'm 17 years old, and just this month, in 11 days, I collected over $57,000 of cash for my offer. Here's the credentials right here. Pull it up. I want to walk you guys through my entire journey from start to finish and show you guys what I did step by step in order to get to the point where I can collect $57,000 in 11 days. First, it requires a little bit of background and who I am to begin with. I started my journey working and making money doing a paper route. I was 13 years old, working my ass off. Did that for about a year and a half, 2 years. Moved straight to Walmart. I was a cashier. Now, guys, this is exactly the point where my sales career started. They had this system set up where you could sell MasterCards and you made like $3 off of a sale or something like that, which is nothing. But I went bananas and I sold and I became the top rep in my Walmart for the month of, I believe it was February or something like that. I became the top rep and I sold like 63 MasterCards or something like that. It was crazy. But I knew I wanted more. I could not stand the people in Walmart, the management. I had to get out. And so I looked to door. At the time, I lived in a small city called Red Deer, Alberta. And I'll be honest, I could not for the life of me find a door-to-door job that would take me in and like let me sell for them. What I decided to do is go create my own business. And I started selling window cleaning. The first month I did about $5,000 in revenue. Fast forward 2 months, I was doing 20K profit. And that was literally this summer. Now, in that specific time frame, when I was door knocking for my own business, I learned a lot of things that I like about sales, but I also learned a lot of things that I don't like about in-person sales. I didn't like the fact that they were cold leads. I didn't like the fact that I had to bother someone in their house. I didn't like the fact that I couldn't chill at my own house and sell. I had to be out all the time. And at this point, I was still trading my time for money. I thought to myself, what can get me that remote freedom, warm leads, and a lot more potential to make a lot more money? And that's when I stumbled upon high ticket sales earlier this year. Keep in mind, guys, I went from a Walmart cashier to a high ticket sales rep under a year. The transformation was not very long, and it shouldn't be for you either. Up to this point, I didn't really believe in online money. I thought it was all scam. People were just selling courses left and right that didn't have any content in it. I didn't think anything was real. I mean, it's hard to believe that people my age at 17 years old have like Corvettes, Lamborghinis, all that stuff. I just didn't clock to me. And guys, this is where my mindset shifted. I started to see in the high ticket sales space what is possible. People were making 100 grand a month, 200 grand a month, $4 million a year. People were making a lot of money, money that I had never seen in my entire life, money that I hadn't seen in the small city that I grew up in. To this day, I believe that that is the absolute best change that I made in my entire life, is changing my mind from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. I understand that there is so much money to be made out there, so why not me? You guys need to have this mindset going into high ticket sales. You need to realize that there is just so much money lying around, and it's up to you to just go grab the money and take it. That's all it is. Now, there's a couple key things that you need to understand when getting into high ticket sales before you can start selling. First, you have to understand what high ticket sales actually is and how you come into play. I'm sure you guys have seen those famous guys like Iman Gotzi, Alex Hermosi, Andrew Tate. All these people sell a course or a program or coaching. The best example that I have for this industry is these guys oftentimes will have a link in any of their socials that says DM to work one-on-one or click this link to work one-on-one. Either way, it's a call to action, and it oftentimes will grab your email, your phone number, sometimes an application form. Now what it does is it takes your information, it takes your application, and it populates it into a CRM. This is what's known as a customer relationship manager. Now in real terms, that just means basically a big sheet where your number's displayed, your application's displayed, your time zone, and your name. This is where you come into play. Now, oftentimes, these creators' courses or programs are going to be like $15,000. So it's way too big of a ticket to actually just check out on and have like a checkout page. So you need to add some friction in there to make it seem real, answer questions, handle objections. So as a setter, which is what I do, I look at the lead list, I call up a lead, I make sure they have money, I make sure they're bought in, I make sure they want to make a change, and I book them on a call with the closer. The closer will hop on a Zoom call one-on-one with the client and walk them through a framework. These frameworks will lead them through an educated decision while handling any objections that the client may have, because no one's just going to give you their credit card after dropping the $15,000 price tag right away, especially on a 60-minute call. And if that call closes, both the setter that set the call and the closer that closes the call get commissions, oftentimes going to be 15% between both. Now, the key thing for both of these roles is they both have a framework that they walk the lead through on the call. Now, these frameworks consist of multiple questions that help guide the lead to make an educated decision on their own, bring out the pains, bring out the fears, bring out the things that they want, the goals, everything. Now, these are the most key things for high ticket sales. And if you want my script, it's in my Discord and bio. Go check it out. Now, obviously, you have to be a certain type of person, right? You have to have emotional intelligence. You have to be able to communicate. You have to have confidence on these calls. But I'd say the other biggest part of this industry is the actual offer that you're on. Now, when I refer to an offer, I just mean a job, right? You're working for one of these creators. Your goal as a rep is to network your butt off. That is the only thing that you should be focused on as soon as you're actually proficient in the skill of setting or in the skill of closing. You need to understand that the offer you're on will make or break your career. For example, let's say your offer is doing $100,000 in revenue. As a setter, if you are the only sole setter and you make all of the sales on that offer for that month, you are capped at $5,000. But let's say there's two setters and the offer is doing $1 million a month. You can make so much more, upwards of $10,000 to $20,000. Now, we call this the OTE, on target earnings. This is called OTE, on target earnings. And this is what differentiates offers that are good and offers that are bad. You'll see a 2K OTE versus a 10 to 20K OTE. The way you actually land these roles is by making something called a loom. Now, this is a software that allows you to record your face and your computer screen at the same time. And what I teach my students to do is to create a slideshow, bunch of pictures of themselves, bunch of experiences, who they are, what they do, why they could kill for your setting team, and I'll have them record it. It'll be like a minute long. It's basically like a video sales resume. And once you have your video sales resume made, your loom, you can send that off to certain sales managers with the right outreach message, and that will allow you to network your way to a really, really good offer. Now, if you want to learn how to make a loom, I have a loom tutorial in my Discord. Go join it. It teaches you everything you need to know about creating your first loom and getting your first offer. So now that you know what high ticket sales is, what the roles are and what they do for the company, and how to land your first offer, how did I collect $57,000 in the first 11 days of this month? This is sauce, guys, so write this down or something like that. It's one simple trick that will skyrocket your performance on any offer. Find the guy that's doing the absolute best on your team and work twice, sometimes even 3 times harder than him at all times. For example, let's say you join an offer and the top setter is doing $20,000 cash collected on average per month. What you need to do, if you find out he's working 6 hours a day, you need to double that right then and there and work 12 hours a day as hard as you possibly can and iterate on every single mistake that you make. And when I say iterate, I mean when you make a mistake, instantly figure out what you did wrong and learn from it. And the way you learn from it is by changing your behavior the next time that you mess up. What this actually looks like in practice is sitting down for 12 hours, putting in dials, understanding where you went wrong with something, and fixing it the next time it comes up on another call. I promise you guys, no matter what, if you just double the amount of time that you're working, you will see so much better results than the top setter. Undoubtedly, because you're putting in more reps, you have more chances to iterate on mistakes, and you have more chances to collect more cash. Now, what this actually allows you to do is to network your way up even further, because the one thing that you have as an underdog is work ethic. This is the only thing that the higher ups will respect you with, is your work ethic and your willingness to just put in hours upon hours. Because once they see that, they know that you're that type of guy, opportunities will open like no one's business. The one thing that I teach the people that I get into high ticket sales is this exact principle. You just need to work your butt off. I got my friend Samuel into high ticket sales 3 weeks ago. And the one piece of advice that he took to heart that I told him is that he needs to work 3 times as hard as the top rep out of the gate as fast as humanly possible, iterate on every single mistake, and he just made $1,500 yesterday. So it's safe to say it works. Now, guys, I am no different from you. Literally, there is absolutely nothing different between me and you. I just put my time into the right vehicle, and I made as many mistakes as I possibly could. My biggest mission in life is to just make as many people as much money as I possibly can, and it should be for you as well, right? The whole goal of high ticket sales is just print money. And so the one thing I say to you guys is just DM me if you have any questions. I want to see you guys all win. I want to see you guys all talk to your moms and tell them that you just made $1,000 today. That's my goal. If you take one thing away from this video, it is to be as relentless as humanly possible with your work ethic. Go kill.